Greetings, Fright Nights and Monster Girls. I'm Count Jackula.
And I'm the Horror Guru.
And we're here to vlog the last 4 episodes of Lucifer on Netflix.
Yes. Of season 4, to be clear.
Yeah. This is the end of season 4. It looks like they haven't officially renewed it, but
not yet. But it was one of the #1 trending show for a while on Netflix.
Yeah, so the chances of us getting a season 5 are actually very, very high. So let's just...
If you want to ensure it, then make sure you go and watch the season right now. It's like,
the more people
watch
it right now, more watch it, the more that they're likely to just green like that shit.
There's currently a hashtag Renew Lucifer started by Leslie Ann Brandt, who plays Mazakine on the show, and it's currently trending. So spread the word of our Lord of Inequity and hashtag Renew Lucifer.
So, with all that out of the way, let's get into spoilers. Because, we're at the end of the series, man. It's just all spoilers from here on out. We set everything up. Now it's time to knock them down. I don't know what to say, but yo, that shit got real.
yes.
That shit got real for a bit.
First big spoiler would definitely be that, where we left off, Lucifer did not kill someone.
Correct.
Lucifer just hospitalized someone very severely. Which
horrifically fucking crippled.
But it's one of the first signs for him that, oh shit, I'm going off the deep end.
Yeah. He's taking things a bit too far, and that's not necessarily what he want to do. And so he starts to slowly come to the realization that even though it's not Eve's fault, he is a worse person around her.
He also finds out about the prophecy that the priest told Chloe. So he finds out about the prophecy, and he already kind of felt like he was starting to go off the deep end and not liking who he was. Yeah. So he basically sets out to break up with Eve. And he sets out to do this in the most hilarious way by being the most stereotypical bad husband.
Yeah, he's the big. He turns in for an entire montage of Lucifer just being a bro douche.
Yes. But this backfires because Eve has a very interesting character flaw. And it's a character flaw because it's the one main thing she has to overcome.
Yeah.
And that's that she will adjust herself 100% to whoever she's with, to the point where she'll become someone she's not.
Yep.
Just to please the person she's with.
Yeah, so she becomes the girl who's really into the bro douche stuff.
Yes, which is not her, you know?
No,
she likes to party, she likes to have fun.
It's not her at all, you know? And Lucifer's like, oh shit, that didn't work, because he couldn't just break up with her because he's Lucifer.
He eventually does, though, and that's when shit really starts to hit the fan.
Yeah, because around this same time, Amenadiel starts dealing with the fact that, he's going to have a kid. Yep. And there is this young guy that he runs into who is involved in drug trade.
Yeah, one of Lucifer's murder cases. He's one of the witnesses. So not witnesses, but one of the...
He's one of the suspects.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Amenadiel is he's an angel, so he's like, well, I know he's not guilty because I'm I'm a fucking angel. And he decides to help this kid, and he does. But at the last minute...
Yeah, this is an interesting episode because Amenadiel's trying to decide... He's trying to figure out how to be a father. And he doesn't quite know. But he kind of finds out in this episode that, he'd be a pretty good dad. But unfortunately, the other thing he realizes for the first time in this episode is that to himself, he's an angel. But to the rest of the world, he's a black man.
Yeah.
And he has a rude awakening when he has a run-in with the police when he's with this kid, because this kid is one of the suspects, and they eventually find evidence that he might have been the one who committed the murder.
Yeah.
And the police start putting their guns on Amenadiel when he hasn't done anything, and manhandling the kid.
And fucking start beating the kid up.
And he starts to realize that oh shit, if I raise a kid on Earth, that kid's going to be half black.
Yeah.
So that kid is going to deal with this, which he wouldn't have to deal with in heaven.
Yeah.
Which starts this spiral of whether he should bring his kid when it's born up to the pearly gates and just raise him there.
Yeah. Now, this is obviously... Linda, the mom, obviously would not like this.
No.
This is not is bad, is super bad.
Super bad.
And until I think the end of the second to last episode, like they kind of string you along. Is he going to do this or is he not?
Yeah. There's even a little fake out at one point where you think
Yeah.
he's done it, but it turns out something else has happened.
Yeah, it turns out something else has happened because he's one of those, like, I was going to take him up to heaven, but I couldn't take him away from you, so I just decided to, like, fly around the earth a couple of times.
But
You
these
know?
these last few episodes, in particular the last 3 episodes,
Yeah.
are, like you said, this show gets really real. First off, you have that entire episode with Amenadiel dealing with being a black angel.
Yeah.
Raising a kid on Earth and the dangers of that. So they deal with race issues in that episode. You also have Lucifer slowly coming to the realization that he hates himself.
Yeah. Yeah. The reason he does all this crap is because he hates himself.
And it starts manifesting in his body literally turning into a demon.
Yeah.
Like with the red shit and the bat wings and the fucking scales and shit. Like,
Yeah. And it gets grotesque.
it gets super grotesque. And it's obvious that they're using a nice mix of both CGI and practical effects because the effects have never looked better.
Oh,
on
no.
the show.
The devil face looks amazing.
Like, for the first time, I believe the devil face was there, whereas in previous seasons, the devil face always looked like crap.
Yeah. It's like, oh, just put that on.
It's like this
whatever.
really crappy CGI with, like, this weird filter on it. It's just like,
Well, yeah, because you got an extended production time because there are fewer episodes. Now you can spend that time actually getting Tom Ellis in the chair.
It feels like they did a lot of practical effects, but if it was all CG, they did a really good job.
Yeah, it'd be amazing if it was all CG.
Yeah.
Super amazing.
They took their time this time.
Yeah.
And you have this really emotional scene in which he's with Linda where he's like he's near tears, really.
Yeah.
And he's just like, why do I hate myself? And it's just like, oh shit.
Ooh, damn, dude.
This shit's getting raw, man. Like they took the condom off.
Yeah.
They just went
They
raw.
went in raw, and you're just like, oh, geez. So this all finally comes to a head in the last episode, where basically what has happened is Chloe is trying to figure out what this prophecy actually fucking is. So she's trying to get a hold of the priest again. So she is supposed to go like interrogate him one more time, but he escapes.
Yeah.
And it's unknown how he escapes
Until we find out. Because it turns out when Lucifer broke up with Eve, she started hanging out with Maze, and Maze starts to realize that she has feelings for Eve, so she's willing to pretty much do anything for Eve at this point to try to make her happy, even though Eve obviously does not have eyes for her at the moment. She's still obsessed with Lucifer.
Yeah. Which you
feel,
once again, you're like, oh, poor Maze.
That's fucking,
like,
that shit also was like pulling my heartstrings.
Girl can't catch a break, you know?
But one of the things Eve decides she's going to do is that, like, okay, if I convince him the prophecy isn't real, then he'll let me back.
He'll come back to me.
So we're
going
going to kidnap the priest. So they break him out of the fucking, like, jail. Well, I guess he was being transferred at the time.
Yeah. They break him out of the truck, which for Mazikeen, that's child's play.
And they kidnap him, and then Eve comes up with this really terrible plan of, yes, Lucifer told me that at one point Maze told me that at one point demons could possess bodies. So if I kill you and you go back to hell, you can tell some of the people in hell to come up here and to get Lucifer so that he and I can go into hell and be together.
Yeah.
Which is a really terrible plan, but Eve is very desperate at this point.
Yeah. She's gone full on crazy ex-girlfriend. And at no point do you lose sympathy for her. You're just like, this is a terrible idea. Don't do it.
Now, if you recall, the prophecy was that if Lucifer were to meet and get with his first love on Earth, if he were to walk on Earth, then evil would be released. Well, what would you call Eve killing a priest so that he could be possessed by a demon that then comes up from hell to bring Lucifer back to hell, all the while raising an army of demons?
Yeah.
I would think that qualifies as evil being released.
Much qualifies. Because it turns out one of the things that they established a little earlier in the season is that demons used to be able to possess people as they wanted. But after a while, Lucifer
forbade it.
He's just like, no, you can't do that anymore. It's horrible. What are you doing?
And shit gets really fucked up because the demons want Lucifer come back, but Lucifer don't want to go back.
Yeah.
But only a celestial, as in an angel, can reign in hell.
Only a being from heaven can sit on the throne of hell, because Lucifer tries to abdicate at one point, and the guy can't accept because he's a demon.
Yeah.
He literally cannot sit upon the throne.
Yep.
And I was kind of glad at that little detail, because otherwise it'd be like, why wouldn't Lucifer just put another demon in charge?
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
Get the fuck away from me. Like, I'm out. Done.
And so they kidnap Amenadiel's son with the intention of sending him to hell and raising him as their new king in their image.
Yeah, because he is part celestial, which is good enough. And
that sets off the entire finale of this show, which is intense as fuck. Because you got a baby on the line here.
yeah. You have a crying mother. You got a baby on the line.
An army of possessed demons, and they're in possessed bodies. So even if you kill the body, they're still there.
Yeah. Chloe Decker finally says, "I love you."
Yes.
They
go full Beauty and the Beast this season.
Yeah,
I was really happy they did.
Yeah, and at the very end, Lucifer he devils out, he hulks out. And just with like one command, makes all the demons fucking return to hell.
Because one of the things they specify is that his ability to influence and control things is enhanced when he's in the devil
form.
Outfit.
Yeah.
So when he's in the devil form, he can do that shit. So he basically realizes at the last minute the only way to win this scenario is just to embrace my demon.
Yeah, it's just to be Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is after kind of like forgiving himself a little bit for being the devil.
Yeah.
And so naturally he has to embrace it at that point.
Yeah. So he has to become the devil, and he does, and then he realizes that if he doesn't sit on the throne of hell, this is just going to happen again. And he could deal with that. He could probably even protect Chloe, but he can't protect his nephew.
Yeah.
He can't protect Linda, Amenadiel, and Chloe, and the kid.
Yeah.
Unless he sits on the throne and makes sure no demon leaves.
So the end of the season ends with a very heartfelt and teary goodbye between him and Chloe as he goes back to hell to sit on the throne.
On a throne on top of a huge spire all by himself. Just looking down on hell like...
It's a very hard. It's an ending that's so good it could be the end of the whole show if they wanted to. But I hope they get renewed again, because I would love like a season of like Chloe trying to get to hell to get to him,
or something.
Like literally like going into hell to get her boyfriend. Like what's like
Sabrina and Chilling Adventures.
That's kind of what I want to happen.
I'm really happy that the people the head writer of that show is like, really hope we get renewed, because I have a lot of crazy ideas. This season.
You can tell after this season that they're definitely willing to take it to 11 right now.
Oh yeah.
There's like
we got the time, we got the budget.
Lucifer has never been fucking better. This is hands down the best season so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I only see it getting better on the horizon.
Yeah. Lucifer season 4 is a fucking is thumbs up. It's the horns.
Satan, even though that's the one thing in his demon form he doesn't have.
Irony, right?
Yeah,
he doesn't actually have horns. He's got like bald. Yep. But I did notice that they made the red skin look like snake scales.
Yes, which is pretty cool.
It was a nice little touch, because especially if he's going to deal with Eve and
absolutely. But I liked the ultimate conclusion where everyone like characters who lost faith kind of regain faith by the end of the season.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ellie kind of regains her faith, and it's one of those turns that makes I'm like, I can't believe I am okay with this. Like she rediscovers her faith. It's like, that's a happy ending. And that's weird.
I kind of like that Amenadiel has the opposite kind of journey where he realizes like, no, I'm not going to go back to the Silver City with my kid, even though it will be safer. No, I'm going to raise it here with his family.
Yeah.
Because we are all his family. And I kind of like that Amenadiel has kind of like an opposite journey there.
Yeah. I'm actually, one of the great things might be is if Amenadiel in the 5th season decides to do something, because he was the one who's trying to drag Lucifer to hell in the first place.
Yeah.
And to have him actually turn around and be like, "Oh no, this ain't gonna happen."
That's another possibility. Like searching through the angels to find one willing to go down there.
Yeah.
That's another possibility. I also I like Eve's little journey.
Yes.
Like, even though, like, she realizes at the end that Maze is the only one who truly loves her.
Yeah.
Because there's this nice little twist where it's just where Lucifer at the end to Chloe is just like, here's where you were all wrong. She wasn't my first love.
Yeah.
And where he's touching her on the cheek and you're like, oh. But like Eve kind of realizes that Maze is the only one that loves her, but she's not ready to actually be in a relationship because she needs to figure out who she is because she keeps changing who she is based on who she's with.
Yeah.
So she needs to be alone for a little while to figure out who the fuck is Eve.
Yeah.
You know, is she the party girl? Is she not? Is what?
Yeah.
Who is she?
What's all this mean? So she starts off on her own little journey, which will obviously would be dealt with in subsequent seasons.
And poor Maze has to figure out, okay, well, what do I do now? Because I'm still trying to figure out what my purpose here is, you know? Like she's looking for a connection, but she can't seem to find it anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too bad she's not a celestial because she would be the perfect one to reign in hell.
She'd be great to
She would
rule
fucking
hell.
rock that job.
Yeah. Well, I love the fact that one of the things that keeps happening as the pregnancy goes on, Maze starts to get a little possessive. Where she just starts following Linda everywhere, you know, like just in case.
Yep.
And of course, like, because it's a show, that just in case does happen.
Yep.
You know, but
well, it's one of those things where she's 100% right. Even though Linda's completely right that like, hey, you're smothering me, you need to kind of get a life and all that stuff. She's right about that. But at the same time, simultaneously, while Maze is doing that, Maze is unbeknownst to both Maze and Linda is being hunted by Amenadiel's sister.
Yeah.
So she's technically right. Like,
yeah. You know, and so that comes to a head.
Now the good news is that I don't think anyone's going to complain if Auntie Maze decides to make sure baby is safe.
No.
At any and all times.
No. I mean, like, I feel like at some point that actually has to be part of Maze's journey where she's like alone with one of the kids and like now she's kind of mom, but not really.
I kind of like this new set that is Linda's house.
Yes.
Where Maze
Oh,
lives
yeah.
now. And I like that you can always tell when you're there versus any other house because they covered it in bubble wrap earlier in the season to protect it for the baby.
Yeah, just in case the baby could fly. And you're like, what if it hits the ceiling fan? You know?
Anytime they cut there and I see the bubble wrap, I'm like, okay, we're in Linda's house.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I also loved the payoff of the fact that they have Maze there. And Maze is like, I'm bringing my weapons. Meh. This means that in a fight scene that happens in the house, people are grabbing weapons out of everything.
Yeah, because she's hidden weapons everywhere so the baby doesn't see them. Or the baby doesn't get to them.
Yeah. Or they're hidden so that she could grab them if something happens.
So they're like under tables and under like tissue boxes and shit. It's adorable.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh God, the tissue box one. Holy shit. It's like, anyone see my shuriken? Anyone see my There it is. And like someone's like, I forget if it was Eve or Chloe who's like using the tissue.
It was Eve.
Yeah.
Eve had just been dumped, and so she was
crying
her eyes out. And that's the thing. That's the thing I like about Eve. Even though she was kind of like the main like conflict of it, she's not really an antagonist.
No, not really.
Not in the way like the priest was.
No. Oh my God. Speaking of which,
yes,
when the priest gets possessed by the
demon, that actor is so
good.
It's a completely different performance.
Super different performance.
Loses the accent and everything. Like,
yeah, and you're just like, God damn it! I kind of want this character to stick around.
Oh yeah, I hope that that's not the last we've seen of that demon.
Yeah. You know, because
especially now that Lucifer's going to be in hell next season if they renew it.
Yeah. Because he didn't destroy the guy.
Yeah.
You know, they're just all back in.
That would have been my first order: is just execute him. Like,
no shit, right?
Hey, you were threatening to do shit to my nephew.
Nephew, you're done. I'm just gonna like. You know, I'm just gonna paste you, you know?
Like, no good.
Yeah. No, that would make total sense. But of course, like, it's a show, so anything can happen.
Anything can happen,
know?
Yeah.
It could be he tries that and the guy fucking escapes and he's like, oh,
he's also trying not to be a monster, so.
Yeah. So maybe he's like, all right, I'll give you one last chance. And it's like, okay, maybe I can't be doing this.
But I like that your heart actually wrenches for Eve, because Eve just wants to be loved.
Well, yeah.
Same thing with Maze. They both just want to be loved.
Yeah, no one... Let me put it this way. There's only one character in the entire show, in all the seasons, that was a straight up, complete, unlikable bitch at any point of her development. And that was fucking... What's her goddamn name? The lawyer.
Oh yeah. She got better.
Oh yeah. No, her whole thing is that she changes,
Yeah,
but in the beginning she's super fucking unlikable.
Yep.
You know, and you're supposed to hate her.
Yeah. You're supposed to be just like, I love how. There's also that transitionary period where she was no longer playing Lucifer's mom and was playing the lawyer, where she was obviously trying to figure out who the lawyer character is.
Yeah,
because she was playing it just like the mom, and so the performance felt identical.
Yeah. She wasn't quite as adept at making that full switch.
And it worked out a lot better when she finally figured out the difference.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's some stuff that would have had the seasons been shorter from the get go. They could have just nailed that right out of the park, right out of the gate.
Another interesting thing is that we get a brief fling between Ella and Detective Douche.
Detective Douche, yes.
And this is where Ella finds out that Detective Douche actually almost got not Lucifer, but the people around Lucifer killed because he basically let a gang leader
fucking know where Lucifer
because he was so mad because this entire season he's been super self-destructive because he's been taking it out on Lucifer, but he's really mad at himself.
Yeah. He's blaming Lucifer for the lawyer's death because they had started dating in season 3.
Yeah.
And she gets killed.
She gets shot.
She gets shot. And he blames Lucifer for it, despite the fact that you're like, dude, Lucifer he's nowhere near this situation.
No. Like the twisted logic is that you knew who the Sinnerman was and it was our boss and you never told anyone. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's his twisted logic. But outside of that, what he really was mad at, as he realizes over the course of the show, is that he hates himself. He's trying to punish himself and no one's willing to punish him. But the person who is able to reach him is Ella, who basically...
Yeah.
Like, it's like, no, I'm not going to let you punish yourself, and I forgive you.
Yeah,
it's just like...
It's okay. I get it. You're mad, but what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, there's a solid, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And when we say, like, self-destructive, this almost killed his daughter. Like, unintentionally.
Yeah, he almost got his daughter killed.
He didn't know his daughter was going to be there, but, like...
Yeah, but, like, circumstances, coincidences being what they are, you know how it's going to go.
Definitely one of my favorite scenes with him, though, is the scene where he is so self-destructive, he's trying to get Maze to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like drunk at the bar and he's like taunting Maze.
He's just insulting her and trying to get her to
That's when you know he's like hit rock bottom.
Yeah, because like the thing that they did without actually bringing too much attention to it is that Douche and Lucifer's journeys are identical.
Yes.
You know, they're both being self-destructive. For both of them, it's about something that isn't really their fault.
Yes.
And they are so focused on punishment, they just can't get out of that tunnel.
They want someone to punish them, and if no one's going to punish them, they'll punish themselves. And
yeah. And that's what
it's very raw.
Yeah, that's what I meant by holy shit. Like that shit got real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really good. Definitely the best season. Can't wait to see if there's a fifth one.
Absolutely.
I will definitely watch it if there is.
100%.
I really feel like finally, like I want another season because goddamn it, the show finally found the home that it should be on.
Yeah.
It should be on
No
Netflix.
Restrictions. They can just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They just have smaller episode sizes. And
I'm because you could always tell that this was a PG-13 show that was edging towards R, but not necessarily actually get there.
It's in that weird zone between PG-13 and R, never quite going full R, but not necessarily being fully PG.
No, not really being PG either.
I find that it's able to find that balance a lot better on Netflix.
Well, yeah, because there are not as many things like knocking it in the other direction, where it feels like they want to be pushing close to R because you know it's a show about the devil. Come on, you know it's got to have a little edge to it. Good God,
who owns a nightclub and has orgies in LA? Like,
yeah. You know the show's got to have
and
a little
deals
edge.
with murder.
yeah, exactly. It can't all be like I realized that the show in the beginning really was SVU Satan.
Yes.
Jong.
Law and Order Special Satan Unit.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, now it's pretty much what it is, and it was nice to actually have episodes that didn't really have a murder plot. It was just the plot.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Like the last episode didn't really have a murder plot, but like I thought it was really interesting because they found new creative ways to implement the murder plots without just making it a procedural show like it used to be.
Yeah,
but still having the murder plots. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Because the fact that the fact that they work for the police is still a major plot
Like
point.
that entire Amenadiel episode was a good example of them. But there's a murder plot thing happening, but it's not the center of the episode. It's mainly about Amenadiel.
It's mainly Amenadiel and this kid.
And I thought that episode was really good. And it's not the kind of episode you would normally see on a procedural show like this. So I thought it was
Yeah. And I found myself going like, I don't mind that we're doing a Trayvon Martin episode.
No.
We're obviously...
Well, it was interesting because I was wondering, because he's an angel, but he's black. And I was always wondering if there was ever going to be a point where they were going to go into the reality of that.
Yeah.
But the show has always been like very fantastical, so I'm like, okay, it's just not going to be addressed.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But now it's like, okay, no, now we're gonna do it.
Yeah,
now we're gonna do it.
And they found a really good way to do it, like the whole him having a kid thing and having this whole crisis of like it's way too dangerous for him here on Earth and shit like that. It's never gonna be fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and a lot of the stuff they talk about how the angels like manifest their feelings about themselves. It makes a lot of sense. Like, when does Amenadiel lose his wings? When he realizes he's willing to fucking murder to get his way, and he has to pull back.
Oh, that episode also had one of my favorite brother moments between Amenadiel and Lucifer.
My God, yeah.
We haven't even talked about what happens at the end of that episode.
No. Okay, so fucking
the kid that he's been surrogate fathering and is falsely accused of murder in the episode, he ends up free from the murder charges, but he ends up shot and killed by the gang leader that he tried to escape.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those, Amenadiel has this like really harsh waking up moments where it's just like, I could do everything as good as possible as a father and my kid still ends up dead in the pavement.
Yeah. And that's the I love that moment where oh God, was it that episode or the episode after where Lucifer's just like, get in the car and like
I can't remember if it was the beginning of the next episode or if it was the end of that episode, but it was like it's one of my favorite brother moments.
Yeah, because Lucifer's just like
I'll get the car.
Bro's got a problem. I'll get the car. We're going.
It's like, I know who did it. I'll get the car. I was like, oh
yeah,
like that right there. Those are brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really super fucking good moment. And of course, like, there's Amenadiel going like, no, I can't kill the guy after he...
I love that moment where he like beats the shit out of the guy, but then he's like, I can't, no, he wouldn't want me to do this. Like, it's never stated, but that's the obvious implication of what's going on.
Yeah, I can't just kill him even though I really fucking want to, and the thing that was really cool is that Lucifer he just stands there. He just stands there and waits.
Yep.
It was nice because it was a moment where Lucifer could have pushed him, but he didn't. No, but he doesn't, because you realize, that's not.
This wasn't a moment to be his normal Lucifer self.
Yeah. It's time to just sit back, be quiet, let this be about Amenadiel, which was really cool.
It's a really fucking great season.
Yeah. Super good. I recommend it. It's on Netflix. Watch it now. Fucking, good God, so fun, so good, and with all that said, where can they find you?
You can find me at The Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook. Just look up The Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll most likely be there.
And you know me. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram. And, of course, here on YouTube, I stream every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and again at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on other times, I also stream on Twitch. But those don't have a regular set schedule, so just follow me there, and whenever I'm on, it'll go bleep, and you can be like, oh, hey, look at that asshole. He's playing, like, World of Warcraft or some shit.
Most likely.
Most likely. These days anyway. I gotta, maybe I'll be able to get lucky and be able to, like, get a copy of Rage soon.
Oh, yeah.
Rage 2. I really want to check that out.
When does that come out?
Especially, it just came out.
Oh, there you go.
It just came out, and, like, a lot of people are complaining about the gratuitous violence, and I'm like,
no, that's a selling point. That's a fucking selling point.
Yeah.
I gotta play it.
Now I'm kind of in now, I'm super in. All right, so until then, Ave Satanas, Disco Inferno, and keep watching fucked up movies.